Hey, what's going on, WCC faithful? This is the original Grand Slam champion himself and Season 4 Fantasy Draft champion Rockery's coming at you with WCC Radio. Joining me live this week is my dude EL.CIBERNETICO.
What up, everybody?
Yeah, how's things out there in LA? Y'all still trying to recover from SummerSlam a couple weeks ago?
My God, thank God that shit is over.
Yeah, I heard the show wasn't all that good, and like,
Man, let me tell you. Okay, not to brag. Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I had fucking bomb ass seats. Yeah, big difference when you're there live. But here's the thing, Maurice.
oh,
Why would they hype up a SummerSlam show and yet it's like I'm reading everybody's messages through Facebook. This shit's boring. What the hell is that? Who booked this crap? I was like, really? I was like, is that bad on TV? I'm like, okay. But then I took a little peek at it, and I'm like, oh, damn.
yeah, because apparently, from what I was hearing, yeah, LA was getting ready to riot worse than they did back in '91 with the whole Rodney King incident because that SummerSlam was
Damn.
that bad.
You had to go all the way back there?
Yeah, well, hey man, I couldn't think of anything else that was like bad for LA. So it was like,
Oh, my God. Let me tell you. I mean, the Hispanic crowd, of course, yeah, we were rooting for Del Rio and Mysterio. No question. No questions asked about that one. But the rest of the pay-per-view, it's like we were all expecting Dolph to cash in. Everybody, the building was buzzing. What time is Dolph gonna come out? If he's the first match, is he the second match? I think if he's the first match, he's gonna come out first, and then he's gonna cash in later. No, I think if he's a second match, it makes sense just to tease the crowd. No, you know what? I think we're gonna do this and that, and it's like the buzz was just going around the building. Let me tell you, a lot of people were willing to say, hey, you know what? Let's make a buzz. Let's just get the whole crowd going. Let's just start chanting, "We want Dolph." Unfortunately, the matches were a little not that boring, but I mean, it just made you want to watch. It made you want to say something, but then the crowds weren't really feeling anything. I mean, literally, for what people paid, I mean, people were like, you know what? I just paid all this much money just to hear some bullshit. I just came to see some bullshit. It's like, really?
um, you know, it's the one thing that OL and I kept bringing this up like last because they did it at last year's SummerSlam, and I was like, no way they're gonna try and do it 2 years in a row.
Right.
Because I was like, yeah, if they would have pulled that, yeah, because that's the thing with Money in the Bank is that I love about it is that you never know when anybody's going to do it
Right.
until like the moment actually happens. And speaking of which, that would be a good segue to get into this whole World Heavyweight title picture because for those of us who watched SmackDown last night,
Right.
ooh, Dolph nearly cashed in twice, but thankfully, he was able to retrieve his briefcase in time before it became an official cash-in.
Right.
Yeah, because first of all, after taking a disqualification loss against Sheamus, he tried to bash him up with the briefcase and was contemplating about cashing it in. But Dolph wisely realized, I didn't beat Sheamus down hard enough, so it's like, well, I'm going to live to fight another day. Then later in this... Oh, go ahead, Al.
No, I was gonna just agree with you. I mean, that was like once again, it's like we didn't get to see him cash in.
Yeah, but actually, you know what? That would have been nice because we always see him at either the beginning of a show or at the end of a show, but we never really see like a midway. Well, except for when Kane did it, like when he won his Money in the Bank. That's not the only time I could think of when there was like a mid-show cash-in.
Hmm.
But,
I mean, what did you honestly think that? I mean, is Dolph gonna actually tease us all the way? I mean, for those of you playing the WCC Fantasy League, I mean, is he gonna tease us all the way to the game is over, Or what? Or are we going to see this at Night of Champions?
I don't know, to be truthful. At first, I was thinking Night of Champions, but then I'm thinking like, nah, that's still maybe a little less. I'm actually thinking he's going to do it. Like I said, the most time I was going to think of is either do it between Survivor Series and the Royal, or sometime after between the Royal Rumble,
Right.
because I'm thinking if he does, because I'm thinking if he does it, he'll do it at one of two events. He'll either do it after the world title match at um, TLC,
Mm-hmm.
or he'll do it after the world title at the Elimination Chamber, because he's going to pick when somebody's like pretty much all beat down.
Right. By the way, before the Elimination Chamber starts, is Hell in the Cell anytime soon?
Uh, usually that's the October pay per view.
Right. Okay. I'm starting
Yeah,
to.
but people don't get beat down. Yeah, people don't get beat down as much as they had in previous cell matches, though.
Mm, yeah, I'm starting to figure that now that you made a good point right there. You might as well
Mm.
take advantage when he's down and out.
Yeah, which almost happened later on in last night, because we had number one title contendership, Alberto Del Rio and Randy Orton,
Right.
and I gotta admit, this one actually shocked me, because I was like, damn, Orton Orton tapped to the armbar and tapped in a relatively clean match.
Yes.
I
Yes,
was
he
like,
did.
I was about to say, damn. Now, you know what? Say what you want about Orton, and I was like, I know people have, to agree to lose to Mark Henry clean, not once, but twice, and then to, like, tap in a clean match to Del Rio in, like, less than a year. You can you can no longer say Orton is playing um that Orton's like playing like a super Spanish kind of character now
Mm,
with his
I
power.
now I know where you're going with it.
Yeah,
Now now I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, I get your point.
yeah, but then just afterwards, after Del Rio gets his win, as like Sheamus comes to the picture after being on commentary, and I was like, Del Rio worked him over a little bit, and then I was like, I'm here to show the world. All of a sudden, Dolph runs down, and we're thinking, wow, are we going to actually see it? But, uh-oh, Dolph forgot Dolph didn't pay too much attention, because out of nowhere, Orton blasted him with an RKO.
Right.
And it was like, yeah, Dolph, you're not cashing in tonight, but sorry.
I mean,
And I got to admit, I
I mean,
actually thought that would have been the perfect time to do it.
I'll admit, is WWE actually giving more of how should I say? And I'm not trying to bash Raw or anybody else, which I sometimes do, but is WWE actually giving SmackDown the spotlight as being the quote unquote actual wrestling show? Because here's the deal. You gotta if you take a good look at what happened on the ending of SmackDown, okay? You take a good look at what happened. You got Del Rio standing there like, what the fuck is this actually gonna go on down? Number two, what you just said, exactly word by word. Is Dolph gonna cash in on Sheamus after beating his ass? And then three, Orton ended up doing his RKO. Now, I'll admit, the last three SmackDown's on fire right now, and I have never said that. I've never ever said that. I've always known SmackDown to be the B show, but SmackDown is on fire. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, it's been a while in my opinion because I'd have to go back to like when the show first kicked off to like remember like when I remember like 3 good SmackDowns in a row. And now
Right.
it's like I said, from start to finish. Like but I gotta admit, like this week's and just the ending alone had me hooked
Mm,
because I was like, first Del Rio Orton, I thought it's gonna be like a good rivalry because I remember their matches like earlier from like early last year,
right.
like when Del Rio was on both shows, and then I was like, then when you had Ziggler getting ready to cash in on a more than prone Sheamus, I thought it was like, wow, because really I'm trying to remember the last time SmackDown actually had like an actual heavyweight title change. And I was
That,
like, man, this would have been perfect for it.
yes, it would. But like I said, I mean, to me, SmackDown's on fire. I love where they're going with this. To me, it's starting to be literally pure wrestling, believe it or not, and with a little taste of Attitude Era. And that's what got to me. These last 3 SmackDowns, I'm like, wait a minute, they were actually pretty good. I mean, they were better than Raw. Finally, I could actually say they were better than Raw. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I think because now you've got so many ways you could go with the world title picture now.
Yes.
Because, and then to think, we still have, and to think now, you could actually have a couple different rivalries going on with this because remember before Orton got suspended, remember Dolph Ziggler was watching Orton backstage after he RKO'd Miz? And I was
Yeah.
like, that's where I need to be, is
Mm-hmm.
where Orton's at now. And I was like, now you kind of have that playing off. And then, most likely, after Sheamus to Del Rio and Night of Champions, you could have, like, Ziggler or Orton, like, kind of teasing their way into the title picture. And it's like, yeah, you can, like, mess around a couple different ways there.
Yeah, you got that right. What do you think about some of the predictions we've been actually coming up on the show? I mean, whether you be listening to WCC Uncensored Show or Overload or WCC Radio. I mean, it's kind of weird, isn't it? It's like some of our predictions are actually coming true. I mean, I actually said it a while back. Randy Orton, what do you do with him? He comes back. Do you put him in the world title shot? Or do you just keep him in the background lurking, just like Wade Barrett is? But it's getting good. It's getting really, really good. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. Finally, I could say this. Thank you, WWE. Really, you guys are making it entertaining.
Well, see, there's the thing with WWE is, like, they know that they've been hit and miss every now and then, but it's like, it's one thing they know. It's like when they miss, it's not bad enough that they'll be hurt long term.
Hmm.
Like they'll turn around and fix it, and because they know, like right around now, between SummerSlam and a Royal Rumble's usually their experimental stage, and
Right.
it's like that's where they always look for like their new faces or whatever to like be in the championship picture. And it's like right now, you know you're going to have two on SmackDown between Ziggler and Barrett.
Right.
And it's just now they got to wait to see how to pan things out on Raw.
Hmm.
And it's
That's
like, and not only with the World and WWE titles as well. I'll tell you this: right now, I think there's a really good shot that the tag team titles will probably wind up being red hot because now it's like, whoa, where are all the suddenly you had Kid and Gabriel make a surprise appearance. You had the Usos coming back. You had Primo and Epico and the Primetime Players all getting up with a 5-way brawl between him and Kofi. I was like, man, just when you think WWE stopped caring about the tag team division, here they come again.
And by the way, I know he's in the conference right now. Uh, let's talk to him real quick. Brandon Dooling, you've always talked about having a fatal four-way for your World Heavyweight Championship or a fatal four-way in your main events. I, th- I think I think WWE fucking finally heard your ass, and they actually decided, you know what? Fatal four-way, #1 contendership. What do you think about that?
When I first saw the 5-way brawl, I was kind of immediately thought they were going to do tag team turmoil, to be honest. But a four-way for #1 contendership doesn't sound too bad, as long as they don't do well, they really can't because it's a fatal four-way. But you remember that #1 contenders match that they had in by DQ?
Right.
Which they can't do on this one because it's fatal four-way, so I'm glad about that. If they're going to do that, that's fine. It doesn't automatically have to be tag team turmoil. As long as they're good matches, I'll be fine with it. I'm glad to see that some teams are getting attention just on the green.
Right. Maurice, out of these 5, who would you select to be your new #1 contender?
You know what? I'm sorry. As much as I'm gonna have to disqualify the primetime players. I'm about to say y'all done had 2 shots blown. I was about to say y'all kind of on the charisma level, but you're not quite there yet. So yeah, y'all gone. Primo and Epico, nobody cared about you when you guys were champions. So yeah,
even with Rosa there.
Even with it. Thank you, Brandon. You just finished my point for me.
No offense. No offense.
Yeah, and I was like, right about now, I would actually be interested in Kid and Gabriel getting a tag belt. And here's why. Because I actually think I think they need to capitalize on Gabriel's extremist attitude. And then it's like, Tyson Kidd, we know he can go. Like, when people actually give him a chance. And I was like, this is a team that's like been in the dark a little bit. And it's like, I like to see how these two really click together.
Especially against Kofi and R-Truth, because all four of them are some of the most athletic guys in WWE. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
And these two have been teaming for a good while. I mean, for the most part, they've been actually teaming since WrestleMania this year, if you remember.
Yeah.
They've got some experience as a team. So
and then again, I'll even go with another thing here. Like back in the indie scene, Kofi and Tyson, they set it off. Like, I want to tell you what, if anybody never saw like Kofi and Tyson Kidd go one-on-one, I suggest you do it, because let me tell you, these two, when they're not being WWE watered down, they could set an arena on fire, dude.
Right.
And I'm thinking now mix Gabriel into that mix, Truth into the mix. I'm gonna tell you, that will be a tag team match worth watching. Because Truth, to me, Kofi and Truth, they starting to get a little full of themselves. And like Kid and Gabriel, they're hungry.
Let's talk about primetime players real quick. Is it just me, or did I just literally fall in love with them overnight? I mean, what they did on commentary was pretty hilarious. Or would you say that is a bit coonish? And Coonish with a K.
Oh, I was about to say, like, last night I made a post, and it was like, this is about the most accurate I could get with this one. Looking at Cole doing that make money dance with the primetime play. Yeah, like, seriously, I thought I was back in 1995 watching an episode of the Wayans Brothers when they had White Mike on the show.
Oh wow.
Yo, seriously, and yeah, I was not trying to be disrespectful on that one, but seriously, like
Oh
Cole
man.
cannot do the dance. He could not. And by the way, Titus, I got to give you props for telling him he sounded like a puppy dog when he tried to do the bark.
That was my
Um,
favorite line, by the way.
yeah, and yeah, and Cole, that was just disrespectful trying to ask if you could like use the pick in your hand because no, dude, you cannot pull it off.
My God. I mean, when Titus said that, I cracked up. I literally almost literally peed my pants. I mean, see, this is what I'm talking about, guys. It's like they give him a role, work with it, bring it out, even if it is, Coonish with the K. But this is what I'm talking about, gentlemen. I mean, seriously, oh my God, like they had me just laughing, they had me entertained, and this is what exactly what I liked about them is the fact that it's something small. It's something easy. They know about. They could relate to it. Do it, man. It's like that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm looking for. That is what's gonna sell. Not none of
Yeah,
this bullshit that we've been seeing for the past 2 years. Respect. Earn my respect. No, man. That shit's
no,
done.
yeah, and you know what? It's kind of funny you said that because when I listened to him at the booth, I was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, Darren was kind of like pulling that a little bit, but then I was like, Titus said, man, bump that weakest stop. Even though, yeah, like I said, y'all failed twice, but still, it was like Darren was kind of giving them like the respect too much, and Titus was like, yo, they alright or whatever, but we know we better. It's just a matter of time. And it was like every time Darren started to like go to the respecting, it's like, man, what's going on with this guy? Titus is snapping back into it. It's like, hey, man, we the money, we the primetime players
Right.
around here. Yo, it's just a matter of time before we get them belts back. So it's like like I said, they're kind of getting there, but they're not quite there yet.
What do you think is missing from them? Let's be honest. What do you think is missing? Besides a mouthpiece, we all know that.
Yeah,
AW. Besides that, but
yeah.
what's missing?
I'm gonna be honest. I think like Titus can be like somewhat of a mouth because he's starting to get there. I think what happens is like Darren's gotta have like a little bit of a mouth on him, and I gotta see like a little bit more of a killer instinct, an aggressive attitude out of PTP put together.
So you're telling me black people, and don't take this offensive, black
That's,
people out there who's listening, but you're telling me black people don't hula hoop no more, as you seen Darren doing?
uh, nah, we need to stop. If anybody still is, we need to stop. But it's like but it's like yeah, but it's like Darren's kind of like being a little more of the cocky face of the butt, and it's like, yo, you can be cocky, but I need to see like a little badass out of you.
Right.
And it's like Titus is getting there while like he's leaving Darren behind.
Ooh. So are we looking at a possible? And I'm calling it early. Are we seeing another crime time breakup?
Oh,
Where the big man this time actually does something about it, and the little guy just stays behind and watches.
now I won't say they'll go to like crime time level, but I'm saying like this is gonna be more like how Eddie and Chavo were in WCW. Because you remember how like Eddie was like Chavo was kind of being the good guy and whatever,
Right.
but then it was like Eddie would try and do that's. I think this was gonna happen. Titus is gonna be in the Eddie Guerrero role, and it's gonna be like, man, yo, snap out of it, yo, get to where we need to be, and he's gonna like take Darren, the Chavo of the group, and he's
Hmm.
gonna like bring him up. Yeah, and he's gonna bring him up to us like, hey man, you see where I'm at? This is where I need you to be.
Right.
And I'm
Uh.
gonna tell you what, once Darren gets there, yo, PTP gonna be setting things off.
Uh. Caller from the 732. You're on. Primetime players. What do you do with them?
Hey, Alice, Shannon.
Oh, my bad. It's the.
Oh,
It's
oh,
the.
one of our queens in the
Whoa, 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 whoa,
WCC.
whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Since I haven't cut a promo, I might as well cut one right now. How is it that the number one chick from last season is now at the bottom?
Look, mister, been running the damn WCC Fantasy League, and this is the first time in 5 seasons that you have to be even remotely close to top 10, but you're still not in top 10, so shut your mouth, okay? When you make it to top 10, then you can come at me. I made a mistake in my rankings. You know, I wasn't expecting Tyler Rex to decide he wanted to go play daddy and leave all of a damn sudden, okay? Anyway, Primetime Players is very, very funny because I just spoke with his mom today. I don't know what to do with them. Yeah, they need a manager because I love what they did on commentary. I laughed. But they do need something because they're just not quite there yet where they can do it by themselves.
Right.
Like, what they did backstage, that was hilarious, but notice that it wasn't just them. Like, it took them, it took Truth and Kofi, it took whoever the hell else was back there in that whole big old melee, but they're not there yet. So they do need to get another mouthpiece. I don't know who yet, though.
Right.
That's the problem. It's like, I don't know who else can take that role. I didn't like AW in that role anyway. I couldn't stand that whole earpiece over the speakers thing. That shit was annoying as hell to me.
In the words of Maurice, you didn't like the black Jimmy Hart?
No. No, that crap was in there because Jimmy Hart, he had a microphone, like he had the bullhorn. AW was on the damn loudspeakers. Like, that shit was just annoying. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I'm not into the dancing and the millions of. I just don't like it. I don't know what the hell to do, but I'm not liking it. I know everybody else likes it, but I just don't like it. Personally, I like Darren Young when he was in Nexus better. And then when Nexus broke up, and then he got cast out or whatever, you know, they kind of didn't know what to do with him. Now they put him with what's his name? So who knows?
Right.
They need to figure something out.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Maurice.
Yeah, here's the thing I was asking is like, if anybody remember Darren when he was on NXT, I kind of liked him more when he was like the little party boy character, and it was like, where was that Darren Young? Because that Darren Young could actually talk.
Yeah.
And then it was like, as soon as CM Punk made him cut his damn hair, that was like, man, there was the first mistake Darren Young made, because it was like, he pretty much stripped him of his identity after that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, after that whole, you know, your Nexus thing, he kind of disappeared. And granted, they're trying to do something with him, but I don't know. Maybe it's. I think he's the type. I think he's the type. He doesn't need a partner. He needs to be on his own. He either needs to be in a stable of more than two, or he needs to be on his own. And that's just my opinion. Because out of the whole Nexus crew, there's only 3 that I noticed: Wade Barrett, him, and Justin Gabriel. So. I don't know.
Brandon Dooling, what are you going to do with primetime players? Player?
You talking about me?
Yes, sir.
There was one thing I was going to say about Darren Young. I'm sorry. I'm going to say something right now about him. He looks like a cross between. He looks like the love child of John Cena and Brian Gumble. I'm sorry.
Hey, he looks like me. Shut up.
Damn.
If you look at his hairstyle, look at his hair. Look at his hair and his face.
Wait, no. Wait. Okay.
I want to mark that one down.
I did not mean to disrespect you, Shannon. I was not trying to.
See, before I can admit, and I even said it, I say he looks like the Black John Cena, but when I look at it, he actually looks just like my uncle. So I can no longer make fun of how he looks because I look just like him. So I can't.
I didn't mean to disrespect you, Shannon. That's just, I'm sorry. I apologize. Woo!
Only here on WCC, by the way.
But anyway, to get serious, what I would do with them, you know, I do agree with everybody else about what they've been saying about them. I haven't seen them as much as everybody else has. You know what? It seems to me like they wouldn't be bad as tag team champions because Kofi and Truth have held those belts for a long time, and I wouldn't mind seeing the primetime players hold them. I don't know personally what I would do with them. I don't.
Actually,
I'm not as familiar with them as other teams.
Actually, I just thought of somebody else who would have. And although it's been a long, long time since he's been a heel character, I would say this. This would be the perfect time to have heel Teddy come back.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Why is that?
Now, you know why? Because if there's one thing Teddy Long has done, is like made good with tag teams over his career. Because if anybody remembers, Doom, they was like struggling the first couple months they was around. Put Teddy Long with them, next thing you know, they was tag team champions. You put, like I say, you do them with primetime players, yo, and like put Teddy as the mouthpiece, yo, Darren and Titus, yeah, they will take off because Teddy would know how to get them to the promised land and keep them there.
We go now live to Alabama with the new WCC IC champion, Brandon B-Dub. Tell me, what are we going to do with the primetime players?
Man, actually, I agree with what Maurice was saying, man. To make Teddy a heel and make him the mouthpiece. Because right now, Darren does need to be in a tag team. He don't need to be on his own. Because after he was booted out of Nexus, he was on his own. And you see he was on NXT for like 2-3 years straight, doing nothing. So basically, when they chopped that little, the mini pro he was trying to grow out, that, I think that OJ, Orlando Jordan pro he had going, he chopped that off, got like a nice little pro, hooked them up with Titus O'Neil. And now they're doing the primetime players, but I guess right now that's how most people have to, build up. Some people need to start as a tag team, and then grow up, try to get connection with the fans, and then next thing you know, y'all gonna get differentiate the two. Like one of them gonna get cheered more than the other. One gonna get booed more than the other. Somebody gonna end up getting the face turn or heel turn or something.
Right.
So in that retrospect, if he's trying to, split, then that'll be a good time for them to do that. But for the time being, they need at least try to get over, even try to win the tag team championship at Night of Champions. You never know.
Right. Brandon Doonan always talks about, fatal four-ways. What do you think about a fatal four-way up at Night of Champions?
Fatal four-way? Let's see. Oh, man, that's going to be interesting. Like, was it just how many? It was going to be all four. How many teams was it on SmackDown? It was 4 teams.
Actually, 5.
5.
Yeah, it looked like 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So we may lean towards this other idea, going with the tag team turmoil.
Right.
Yeah. Or at the time when everybody on the ring, and then they could just tag each other in, and have like elimination type thing.
Are we actually looking at the next tag team champions?
Who?
Primetime players.
Could be, because I think right now they're trying to revitalize the tag team division. And right now they're trying to let the whole AW and Kobe Bryant thing kind of settle down, because they are saying they're going to give the belt to the primetime players. Right now it's just about timing.
Out of the 5, who did anybody stand out other than the primetime players?
No, I think everybody else is just fillers. Like, come on, like nobody even knew. I saw a lot of people on WCC page saying they never knew Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd were the tag team. They were like, who are they coming out of nowhere? So And then the Usos, like, what they've been doing for the past, past few months. I don't,
Yeah,
man,
I've
but I
got a
don't want
dance
to stand
verification.
out, man.
Maurice, talk to me here. Seriously, what is going on? Did you really expect Tyson Kidd and Justin Guerrero to pop out?
No, not even with them bright ass shirts of theirs. I was like, yeah, I had even forgot they was a tag team because I hadn't seen Gabriel like anywhere. Where in the last time I saw Tyson Kidd, he was getting his ass whipped by Albert on Raw.
My God, that's too long. Maurice, we are now coming down to your segment. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
It all started, for me, technically, it all started back in 1999 when I was a tiny little burrito. That's right, I said it. A tiny little burrito watching your boy and my boy, the one and only Chris Jericho, interrupts The Rock. His debut match. Literally, my favorite moment. It still gives me chills. Every single time that I see that clipping, it gives me the chills. It's like, damn. It made me Google him. It made me do everything. I mean, it made me even want to go look for some tapes of him down in Mexico. Even his tapes in Japan. I mean, this man literally sparked it all. What was your favorite moment?
Ah, man, when it comes to Jericho, man, I know I'm gonna pretty much name everybody else's moments here, because you could go from all the times he clowned Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
You could go to the time he and The Rock were arguing back and forth and they were doing each other's catchphrases. You could even do like him beating Stone Cold and The Rock on the same night to become the undisputed WWE champ. Even his war with Shawn Michaels that led to what I felt was match of the year at WrestleMania 19. There was just like so many things Jericho could do. And it didn't even have to be like an over the top thing.
Right.
Like even something minor. It was just like he always knew that like those small things to help get a match over or help get a storyline over. And it was like, I tell you what, to have the know-all to do it for as long as he did, and then to like take the breaks that he's taken, and then still come back and like pick it up like clockwork.
Mm-hmm.
That's just something I feel like Jericho is like the last of a modern day like generation here, and it's like I felt like if we ever do lose him like full time,
right.
And when I say losing him full time, I mean like he like never. Or hold on, wait a minute. I gotta attempt to try this one.
Uh-oh.
Never, ever have anything to do with wrestling again. Yeah, that's what I think will fully like lose like the value of Chris Jericho.
Mm. You made a good point right there. Let me put you in the spot real quick. Let's go back in time. And seriously, think about this one.
All right.
Your favorite Jericho match.
Oh, yeah. Me? I had to think because I've seen some good ones. Because like between him and Benoit, I'd have to. Let's see, do I want to go Jericho Benoit or do I want to go Jericho Michaels on this one? Because those are like my two best favorite rivalries of his. But I'm going to go Jericho Benoit, and I'm actually going to pick their ladder match from the Royal Rumble in 2001. And I'm gonna tell you why I picked this particular match. It's because Benoit mostly got the upper hand on Jericho when they fought, like when they had one-on-one matches. But this is like finally the match where Jericho was finally able to break through and like defeat Benoit in a one-on-one match.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, and plus, not to mention, it was like when you also had the Intercontinental title on the line. It was like, yeah, and these two just like literally did anything and everything to like get that belt, and it was like, to me, I felt this is like Jericho's breakthrough.
Mm-hmm. My God, you know what? I'm gonna take you a little more deeper than that. You ready for this?
Oh.
The year I lost it, I think it was either 90, or I could be wrong about this one. So help me out on this one, Maurice. When he was in Mexico, it was either 90, 91. It is Chris Jericho versus Dr. Wagner Jr. Now here's a little history lesson on this one. We all know Jericho came from the dungeon, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Now, Mexican sensation Dr. Wagner Jr. was in Mexico. Now, he's considered to be the Bret Hart of Mexico. He came from a big family, just like Del Rio. But this guy literally went head to head with Jericho. And it's like two students of two great generations, of two great families in the wrestling business went at it. And you know what the messed up part about it is all this? This match was only seen live on closed circuit.
Oh.
Nobody else got the chance to see it. It wasn't really televised like literally all over the world. Like some of the other matches that, get televised in Mexico. This match went a full 40 minutes, and they literally gave each other a beatdown. And let me tell you, this match to this day is still not only my favorite Jericho match, but it is literally I could honestly say it is my all-time favorite match. Going next, let's talk to Shannon real quick. Shannon, please tell us, what is your favorite Chris Jericho match or moment?
Favorite match? I didn't even take the time to think of that. But my favorite moment is when he debuted. No lie, I flipped my lid because I didn't know. They did the clock and everything, and I didn't know who was coming. But I was like, okay, whoever it is going to be awesome. And when the clock finally ended in the middle of The Rock's promo, at that point I didn't care who it was, but I'm like, okay, whoever it is going to be awesome. And I had liked Jericho when he was in WCW. And, he had just started to get the name Lionheart or whatever. And then, of course, he was gone or whatever. But when I saw it was him, I flipped my lid. So that is my favorite moment. Favorite match? I don't even know.
You're like, there's too many to pick.
Yeah, like you said, too many. I can't even think of a bad Chris Jericho match. No lie. As much as I love HBK, I can think of bad HBK matches. I really can't think of a Chris Jericho match where I say, "Yo, that sucks." So I can't even think of one. I really can't.
Yeah, you'd have to watch a couple of his WCWs because I could think of a couple, but it was just because WCW didn't want to push him.
Right. I would have to say I would have to say anything after WCW because in ECW he was awesome. I didn't get to see him when he was in Mexico or in Japan, so I don't know what his career was like in there, but from what I hear, it's great. Anything post WCW, he was awesome. No lie, he was awesome. So
yeah. Oh,
pick a
Elle,
match.
can I have? Oh, sorry, Shane. Elle, can I have the name of that wrestler again that Jericho fought with?
Dr. Wagner Jr.
That's the way. I'm trying to. Yeah, so I'm trying to look for it now and see if they'll.
I mean, good luck if you try to look for it on YouTube. That it will be impossible because I've tried so many times. I mean, there's late nights when I'm not, on WCC. I'll be on YouTube. I'm trying to look for this match, and it's like not even there.
Yeah, I know
I'm
you're
really,
trying to wiki.
I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause I know you're trying to Wikipedia and mail anything.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I thought he was gonna be on his DVD, and it wasn't even involved in that one either. I was very disappointed on that one. Brandon Dooling, favorite match of Chris Jericho or favorite moment?
Favorite moment. Favorite moment. I'm not as familiar with, believe it or not, I'm not as familiar with Chris Jericho as the rest of you are. There are certain matches that I should see that I haven't seen yet. So my list kind of narrows down a bit. My favorite moment, believe it or not, my favorite moment was, you remember the moment during the invasion when he and The Rock were verbally roasting Stephanie, Shane, and Booker T and Rhino?
Yeah.
That was actually possibly
like,
my favorite one. That was possibly the best example of mic work, in my opinion, that I've ever seen in my entire life. Edge verbally destroying Billy Gunn after King of the Ring had nothing on this.
Yeah, it said we got. Oh yeah, I remember this one because it was like Jericho look at Stephanie and Rhino said, "We got the gore and we got the whore." And then the Rock
You must have some kind of imagination. Oh, yeah, maybe I do. Maybe I'd like to discuss this with you. I hear there's a Hooters just down the road from this place.
Yeah.
I mean, him and The Rock were on it.
Yeah.
Now, favorite match. You may or may not agree with this one. My favorite match, believe it or not, that I've seen Jericho in, believe it or not, it was actually the two-fall triple threat match at WrestleMania 16 with him, Chris Benoit, and Kurt Angle for both the Intercontinental and European titles. That's actually one of my favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. It didn't need any necessarily unnecessary drama. It was just three guys who were very good at what they did, doing what they do best. To me, that if it wasn't for the triangle ladder match that night, I think that would have been the best match of the night, possibly at least second on the list.
Yeah, it was a thing a lot of people forget about that is it was that match that actually because a lot of people forget that's how Jericho actually became a Grand Slam champion in WWE.
Wait, at that moment, you mean it?
Yeah, because like a lot of people forgot that Jericho actually won the European title.
Won the European title, and then he lost it. The very next night, Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, he lost.
You know what's ironic about that? You know what's ironic about that? On a side note about Eddie, like the night after that WrestleMania, he wins the European title, and then the very next year at WrestleMania, he wins the European title from Test. 2 straight years, he did it against the Canadian. 2 straight years.
That
was a bit interesting, but that's my take on it.
Maurice, did Brandon just school you on that one?
No, because actually, I was wondering if anybody was even going to mention that match because a lot of people forgot.
Yeah, because I think what hurt was because so many people remember that original ladder match between Edge and Christian and the Dudleys and the Hardys. That
triangle ladder match, which ended up getting match of the year.
Yeah, that I thought like that two-fall triple threat got overshadowed.
I'll agree with you on that. I think that's one of the more underrated matches in WrestleMania history, to believe it or not. I think that's one that doesn't get talked about as much as it should.
Yeah, especially from Angle, considering that he didn't lose either. He lost both belts while Jericho and Benoit beat each other.
All right, let's take it back to Bama. We are live from Bama. Mr. Brandon, the IC champ, from one IC champ to another. Your favorite Chris Jericho moment or match?
Man, like I was saying, man, it's so many moments and matches, man. Like it's almost hard to kind of narrow it down, you know. Like Man, that's true. But I do like the moments that when, like the second rivalry he had with Shawn Michaels, when he was heel, but still saying he wasn't a heel, saying he was the good guy and he was the honest man, and Shawn is doing all this stuff and gets the pass. But but it still worked that very well. And even with the time when he came back this time, I think in January, he came back and everybody was saying it's the second coming, the second or third coming. He came back and he didn't say one word, and he got the crowd from cheer him to boo him all in the one night without saying nothing. Now that is the true, first how you can really get somebody in the palm of your hands, to really work a crowd without doing nothing. That's. I mean, a lot of people can't get a reaction like that.
Man.
Dub, just to follow up on you, you just brought up a great example of what I was talking about when I said Jericho does like small things, because it's just like when I initially watched him do that, I was like, there's got to be a purpose behind it. But it's like, the thing is, Jericho's really good at kayfabe, and it was like, there's one of the things I still respect about Jericho is that he still holds true to that.
BW, you brought up a good point. When Jericho's first match, his return, by the way, was in Anaheim, California. You are right. We were upset. The crowd was pissed off. I mean, we were expecting to see him and Punk, tear off the roof. And he walks away. He's like, fuck this. I ain't going to stay around. Man, everybody was just like, boo! But it wasn't just like your typical boo, you know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody was like, you mother,
Yeah, but you saw he came out, y'all cheering him, right? And then at the end, y'all booed him like, oh, like, what is this,
Exactly. I mean, I'm not going to lie. He broke my heart. Fucker.
Nah. He definitely worked the crowd. He didn't broke your heart as worse as Edge did he?
Pretty much.
Oh, wow.
I had to bring that up. I want to get everybody's take on another Jericho moment. And, all right, granted, this one was kind of like rough to watch times, but it was like, when his WrestleMania 25, being involved in the storyline with Ric Flair and the Legends, and then Mickey Rourke on the side, I gotta wonder, I gotta wonder, what was your take on Jericho in that whole storyline?
Ladies first.
What was the question? I'm sorry. I had you guys muted so you didn't hear the noise.
Good. The question was Jericho in his WrestleMania storyline with Mickey Rourke and all the legends that he was facing.
Oh, I thought it was funny, and I really didn't think that if I'm not mistaken, he came out on top on that one, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I really didn't think he was going to come out on top. Like, I really thought they were going to have him lose. And when he did, I'll admit, he did some pretty disrespectful stuff, especially to Ricky the Dragon. Mickey Rourke, that didn't bother me too much, but everything else, when he did to Ricky the Dragon and Hot Rod and everything, that was pretty low. Like, at that point, I was like, okay, please kick his ass, but he came out on top, so he proved that, youth before age, I guess. He may have grown up watching him, but it's funny how, think about it, it's come full circle, because that's kind of the same lines where Dolph and him went. Dolph had all the respect in the world for him, but it's not your time anymore. It's my time, So it's kind of funny that it's circled around to that, So.
Brandon Doolin, your thoughts on that?
She does bring up. No, I think she's right on the money. Right on the money, I think. The only thing I would add to it is the one difference I'd add to it is this. when Jericho was feuding with the Legends, he'd already really beaten everyone that there is to beat, except maybe John Cena and some others. But other than that, I mean, he'd already won the World Heavyweight Championship months back. He'd already done things like that. So he'd already been there and done that. But this is just a case of his disrespect really showing towards the Legends, but then showing that he was better than the Legends. And I didn't really care that much for him getting knocked the heck out by Mickey Rourke after the match. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one, I didn't really care for it, but this thing with Ziggler was very good by both men. I was impressed with Ziggler because I don't know how many people can really keep up with Chris Jericho as far as mic skills. I don't know if Ziggler kept up with him, but Ziggler was on it. He stepped up once again, just like he has been this past year. I'll give Ziggler his credit, and Jericho showed that he still got it. So I enjoyed the rivalry both ways.
B-Dub, did you like that match?
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, it seemed like it was just a promotional thing for the wrestler movie, and then just having all the legends and whatnot. But one thing I did like about it, like, it definitely showed that Ricky Steamboat still got it. He was still doing the arm drags and chops. I'm like, okay, I think he did like 2 or 3 more matches after that. Right. Jericho, but I guess he can show that he can, basically work with anybody, that you put at him, because he really should bring the best out of his opponents, because some people can be like very complacent with some of the wrestlers, and then some of them, really bring that A game.
All right. I mean, I hope you guys don't kick my ass when I say this, but seriously, I didn't like that match whatsoever. Oh, man. When that was going on, I was out buying a beer. Oh, man. Maurice, you said this before. We talked with Chris about this. For some reason, every time they bring a celebrity, it's just a snooze fest to me. Chris agrees.
Yeah, truth be told, I gotta admit, I was a little surprised that Jericho beat them so easily. And I was like, the real surprise to me was that he beat Steamboat last, because I actually had him knocking Steamboat off first, if anything, in that match.
Oh.
Because I felt like Snooker would have been a little harder, and then of course, if he did it, I thought they would have Piper go at the last, because you think if anybody, Piper would be the one that would knock him off at the end, but I was like, wow. But then again, it kind of made sense for him to beat Steamboat, because Jericho's gone on record so many times that Steamboat was pretty much his inspiration for getting into wrestling, so. Mm-hmm. So I guess, in a way, it was kind of cool for him to, have that little moment to have him and Steamboat go at it at the end, to, get the victory for himself. So.
Exactly. Wow. I mean, you guys brought up a lot of good matches. Well, actually not the match, but more of a lot of good points. What do you think is, and I already said which is my worst match, was the match we are talking about right now. Let's go down the list. Worst match he's ever had. And go ahead, B-Dub.
Worst match. That's a good question. Man, he had a lot of good matches. I guess his good matches outweigh his bad matches. So I'll say that.
Right. But is there one that stands out? Yeah, you were like, oh hell no, forget this.
The only thing I would say not bad, but it's kind of like back when he beat The Rock and Austin on the same night. It was like, oh, people, why is he winning it? That's the only one I would say, why him?
You were a Rock
fan.
That was
a shocker, man.
Were you a Rock fan at the time?
Yeah, I think I was Rock and Stone Cold. I know we were riding the school bus, he would ask me, man, who won that match? Rock, Stone Cold. I'm like, Jericho. I'm like, hell no, you know.
I'm laughing because that happened to me, by the way. They were asking me too. Who won? You know, Rock or Austin? It's like Jericho had won. Like, what?
Yo, I had to admit, like, I kind of had a feeling Jericho was going to win this, like, well, especially after Kurt got knocked off first. I was like, uh-oh, I can already see what's going to happen here, because I know Vince damn sure ain't going to have Austin win it. And I was like, yeah, because let's see, how did it go? Yeah, Austin beat Kurt Angle first, and then there was Rock Jericho. And it was like, oh, he definitely don't want Stone Cold versus The Rock. So it's like, uh-oh, he's going to screw over that one. Then it's like, yeah, then there's going to be a double screw on Austin. So it's like, yeah, Jericho's going to win this now.
Oh, my gosh. Dueling. Did you honestly expect Jericho to win that triple threat versus The Rock and Austin?
Wait, it wasn't a triple threat, though. I thought he faced The Rock. Oh, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, did he not beat him with his own move, the Rock Bottom, if I'm not mistaken?
Encyclopedia?
I do. Mm-hmm. Did he not beat The Rock with the Rock Bottom?
Booker. Yeah, after a Booker wound up interfering.
Okay, whoa. You all threw me off now. Wait a minute. Wasn't this a triple threat for...
No. It was kind of like a...
No. It was a tournament, mini tournament. 4 men, 2 titles, 1 champion.
Damn.
It was Rock versus Jericho. It was Austin versus Angle. It was not a triple threat. If we're talking about Vengeance 2001, it wasn't a triple threat.
It was a tournament.
Okay.
It was a tournament. So Jericho beat The Rock with his own move, the Rock Bottom, and I can't remember how Jericho beat Austin. I know Jericho was I know Austin had Jericho on the walls of Jericho at one point, but then I
think Booker T hit him hit Austin with the belt, and Jericho won.
Oh, that's right. But as far as the question, worst match, I don't think I've ever seen, of all the Jericho matches that I've seen, I never saw any bad ones from him that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know if I can say worst, but the one that I didn't like as much as other matches, if I could say that, because I can't really think of a worse one, to be honest with you.
Right.
One for me would, believe it or not, I'd probably agree with L on the WrestleMania 25 one. I would actually agree with him on that one. And it's nothing against Jericho. It's not even anything against the Legends, really. I've never really been that much of a fan of 3-on-1 handicap matches, certainly not at WrestleMania. So through no fault of their own, that'd probably be, I wouldn't say worst, but it'd be the one that I like the least favorite, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I never really cared for 3-on-1 handicap matches. If you put the right people in it, then maybe it might be interesting, but at the same time, I didn't know about this one. Now, I would like to say, if I can, I'm going to try and find his match against Steamboat at Backlash, because I do want to see that one, because Steamboat showed that he really had it.
Right.
Maybe not in his prime necessarily, but the man still could go. So I would like to see that one.
No problem.
So
Shannon, not your worst match, but let's start with something fresh. Your oh my god moments with Chris Jericho.
My oh my god moment with Chris Jericho. You know, this is going to be corny and cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the specific Mania, but when he fought HBK at Mania, and he lost, and he's crying and supposedly crying, and HBK puts out his hand and hugs him, and then he just drops him on the ring. And I was like, what the hell? That was my oh god, that was my oh my god moment. I was like, I was like, okay, I'm rooting for HBK, of course. It's like, okay, He put on a great match. He lost. He lost to his idol. He's gonna take this like a man.
Right.
And he does that. I'm like, what the hell? That was a chump, pussy, crying. You did not just do that. That was my oh my God moment. I mean, granted, I know they did it so he can get you from it, but yeah, I was like, I could not believe they did that. That got me right there.
Wow.
So that's my oh my God. I said it was cheesy, but that's my oh my God moment because I was literally flipping out.
Actually, you know what? I agree with you. That was also, I had that in my head. I also had that as my oh my God moment too. Maurice, do you agree with Shannon on that one?
I'll actually go with a different one on this one. My oh my God was him actually beating The Rock at No Mercy in 01. Because it was like I did not expect him to win either. I did not expect him to win like the World's Championship for that, because I was thinking they were going to hold that one and have like a big Austin versus Rock like showdown.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, he gave Jericho the big one.
Wow.
And actually, if I can do the worst question worst match, I can nail this one easy, because this match they pretty much made Jericho look like a bitch.
Wow.
It was his. Yeah, and again, this is why I gotta blame WCW for this, but it was actually his debut on Nitro. It was Jericho Alex Wright. I forgot what it was, the circumstances that led to it, but it was like Alex Wright got accidentally knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Jericho went off and waved the referee and told him to stop the match. And I was like, wow. And I was like, Jericho, to a point, like when he looked back at it in retrospect, he was right, because it did really make him look really weak.
Damn. Alex Wright, you still remember him?
Yeah.
More only because he's the only person that I can definitely tell you Triple H hasn't beaten.
Oh. Interesting. Maurice, we are running out of time. Anything you guys want to bring up about Chris Jericho?
Could I answer the OMG moment?
Go for it, Dooley.
Okay. First off, Shannon, the WrestleMania that you were trying to think about, it was WrestleMania 19 when he faced Shawn, which was also Shawn's first WrestleMania since 14. Yes. 14. Also, one more thing about that. Compared to what he did at the Royal Rumble to Shawn, I actually think what he did at WrestleMania to Shawn wasn't as heelish, so to speak, wasn't as cheap in comparison. My OMG moment, believe it or not, was when he played matchmaker between Shawn Michaels' face and the Geritron 3000.
Damn, that was a fun day. Actually, I would give another oh my God. Him punching Rebecca at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when I saw that, I was like, yeah, because I was like, oh, I don't think that was supposed to happen. Because I was like, wait, what's this? Yeah, because it went by so quick that I was like, what the hell happened? And I was like, oh shit, that's Rebecca down on the floor. Yeah, because I only just thought like maybe he like shoved Shawn, and then I was like, then I like caught the replay in slow mo. I was like, oh shit, he punched her. I was like, man, that was not supposed to happen.
I'm gonna check that out on YouTube.
The one thing I'll say about it is another OMG moment, and I can agree with you on that one where he punched out Rebecca. Another OMG moment to me, believe it or not, You remember Unforgiven about a month later when him and Lance Cate got whooped in that unsanctioned match? Him coming back later on in the night and winning the World Heavyweight belt in the championship scramble. I know CM Punk got punted in the head before the match, but I was surprised they put Jericho in it, considering he just got a whooping of a lifetime from Shawn. That's another OMG moment to me, to be honest with you.
All right, let's. I feel like we're gonna wrap this up. Can we get some news about tomorrow night with the LCW Out of Control?
Oh my God, I forgot about that. I was gonna say you forgot about that, but I forgot about that. For all you people that are listening in the Southern California area, going down tomorrow night, Sunday, August 26th, LCW brings to you Out of Control #2. It will be a tag team tournament /series / crowning a new championship for a new tag team championship on the line. So far in the tournament, we have Damian Arsenic, Robbie Phoenix, Los Luchas, and much more. For more information, go to facebook.com/Legion Champ Wrestling. Also follow them on Twitter at LCW Pro Wrestling, and I believe check them out on YouTube at Legion Champ Wrestling. For more information, just keep on focus on their Twitter and their Facebook and YouTube. And by the way, tickets are on sale right now at $13 a piece at the door, and I believe on their website, which is legionchamp.com. And is there any shows going on out there in the East Coast? Anybody?
Yep, I just happen to have one right now. Saturday night, September 15th, East Coast Wrestling Association will be celebrating their 45th anniversary. When Champions Collide, this will be taking place at the Greater Newark Boys and Girls Club at 109 Glasgow Drive, Route 41, Positive Place in Newark, Delaware. It'll be 7 o'clock start time. And ladies and gentlemen, this will be champion for champion, title for title. I'll drop the card real quick for you. The undefeated Greek god Papadon will defend his ECWA championship against the Heart Killer Chris Wilde, the reigning TWA champion. And remember, it's title versus title. One of these two men will leave Newark a dual champion. ECWA Unified Tag Team titles will be on the line as Fusion DS, Damian Dragon, and Matt Saigon defend the titles against the Sons of Blackheart, Armageddon, and Anarchy. Former Grand Slam champion Aiden Chambers will take on Beautiful Bobby Shields, accompanied by Joel Blackheart. Tony Mama Luke, that's right, I said Tony Mama Luke, former FBI ECW superstar, will be making his ECWA debut against Josh Daniels. Also making his ECWA debut will be the Napalm Bomb, going 1-on-1 against Cujo the Hellhound. Kikoa the Flying Hawaiian will take on Danny E. And, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a fan participation lumberjack match as the French Rainbow Connection of Cole Calloway and ECWA Mid-Atlantic champion Mr. Ulala will take on the team of the Boss Mike Tartaglia and Ricky the Model Martinez. And how do you get to be involved in this? If you show up when the doors open at 6, you will be given an opportunity to put your name into a hat. 16 fans will be drawn at random. And if you are 18 years of age or older and you signed a waiver, you will be one of the lumberjacks participating in this match. Remember, ticket costs are $15 for adults, and they are $10 for children 12 and under. Remember, that is ECWA, East Coast Wrestling Association, Saturday, September 15th at the Boys and Girls Club in Greater Newark, Delaware.
All right. Be sure to follow both links. And also, all you people that are on WCC, don't forget, the WWE, that's right, the WWE will be in Milwaukee this Monday night. Believe it or not, tickets still are on sale. So make sure you go out there, support WCC, take out some WCC signs. I know I forgot to take mine, but I'll do it next time. For Maurice, Brandon Dooling, go ahead.
Oh, hold on, before I forget, next week, WCC Radio, we are going through a major overhaul. Next week, we are coming on 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. And plus, we have a new show title. It's WCC Breakdown. That will be our new Saturday night program with me, Mr. Team Bring It, and of course L when he decides to join us in. We just wanted to give you guys a little heads up. We will be on earlier next week, so make sure you guys check that out.
And also, if you guys ever want to call the show, go ahead and call us at 760-569-7676, X60-200-446#. Follow us on Twitter at WCC Live. Also, if you have Facebook, make sure to add us. Facebook.com/group/Wrestling Commentary Central. My name is EL.CIBERNETICO, along with Rockin' Reese, Brandon Dooling, and of course, the new IC champion, B-Dub. And the
hey,
lovely...
don't forget our Queen Shannon.
Of course. And our lovely, well, no, Shannon, I'm not going to be mean and call you not a champion, but a future champion. A future champion. How about that? There it is.
Oh, man, that was a Jonathan Quick save if I ever saw one, Ariel.
All right.
Hey, I had to give it LA love because the Kings did win the still champion. So.
Yes, we did.
All right, everybody, till next week, take care, and as always, keep on slamming. Thanks for joining.
Good night.